Listen, listen to the knispering sound of meat being grilled slowly. Welcome to Master Your Barbecue. This is our first episode and I'm going to teach you today how to cook a flap meat. In Argentina they call it vacío, on a typical Argentinian barbecue. Now you can make a rub if you want, but I'm going to keep it simple today just by using some salt and slow cook it over a direct fire but at a very low temperature. So that's going to take us about 1 to 2 hours, and because of course we're hungry in between, I've got some very nice Argentinian sausages. This is imported meat from Argentina, and as you can see it's a beautiful piece of meat, about 1 kilogram. There's also some fat on it. Don't get rid of the fat because the fat is exactly what you need. So I've got some nice sea salt. You can also use some rosemary, one of my favorite flavors. I have them dried out, but I also have some fresh ones over there, so I'm going to use fresh ones later on when we cook it. So just put on some salt, not too much, not too little, at your own taste, what you like. Try to put it in there. Always leave your meat to warm up to room temperature. That's essential for a good preparation. So make sure if it's deep freezed that you pull it out of the freezer on time so that it's ready to go when the fire is hot. So here we are at the grill. This is an Argentinian grill. It can go up and down. The nice thing about it, you can put fire underneath it at your own taste. So I'll create a very hot zone and I'll create a slightly less hot zone. So we can first grill the meat and then let it slow cook for a longer time. We can always make extra fire on the left, so we never run out of fire. If you do not have a setup like this at your own home, you can still use your own small barbecue. Just put your coals on one side for a hot zone, and on the other side you'll have a colder zone, maybe with a lid on top of it. Let's put the meat on and then wait for a while. So as you can see, this is a very hot zone. There's plenty of charcoal underneath. We still have enough fire. So we're probably gonna cook this for a few minutes every side. And then we're gonna go over to slow cooking. So I'll be right back with you to show you how to slow cook it further over an open fire. So the meat has been on for about 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna turn it around to also grill the other side, and then we're gonna let it rest and cook very slowly. So let's see how it looks when we turn it around. So I've just turned the meat around. You see it's grilled perfectly on the top side. If you want to know how hot your grill is for this, your hand needs to become almost unbearable to hold after about 5-6 seconds. And then you know that's a very fast fire. At the same time, what you see I've created a ring of charcoal on this side with almost no charcoal in the middle. So when this side is done cooking, we'll move the meat over to this side and we'll just let it sit. So it's been cooked on both sides. What I've done, I've increased the height of the grill, and what I'm going to do now is create a ring of charcoal on the outside and only very few charcoal on the inside, which allows to slow cook. Right, so as you can see, I've created this ring of charcoal on the outside and only very little charcoal on the inside. Also try to use your charcoal as wide as possible, because if it's black, it's not really burning well. We're gonna lower it again. We're gonna let it sit for about half an hour to an hour, I'm guessing. So the way to test now if the temperature is right to slow cook, again, test with your hand about 10 to 11 seconds before you have to back out because it's getting too hot. Okay, so the meat is now slow cooking. I'm gonna put the sausages on, and while we wait, let's go have a beer. Right, I do like rosemary, so I'm gonna put a bit of natural rosemary on it just to give it this bit of extra flavor. Gotta love the smell. Listen to the knispering sound of meat being grilled slowly. Alright, the meat has been grilling for about 40 minutes now. Now as you see, there's thin pieces and thick pieces. So on this side it's pretty thick, where it's still medium rare. On the other side it's already pretty well cooked. So what you can do is you can take some more fire, put some more fire on the left hand side where it's thicker, to make sure that piece is also cooking. Now depending on your taste, you either cook it medium rare, medium, or well done. And that's always the $1,000,000 question: how do you like your meat? We've been cooking now for 45-50 minutes, so it's time to take the meat off the grill. When you do that, turn it around one more time and let it sit for a few minutes so all the juices can get through the meat one more time. Time to take it to the dinner table. So my guess is this is gonna be cooked to European preference, where it's still slightly red inside, but not bleeding too much anymore. Maybe a few pieces medium rare to medium. As you know, in other countries and other cultures, they like to have it well done. If that's the case, just leave another 20 minutes on the grill and it'll be good to go. Let's see how this turned out. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful cooked. Let's have a slice. Let's go ahead and taste. They're absolutely delicious. Piece for the camera woman as well.
Thank you.
So, folks, that's how you cook flat meat. Vacío in Argentina. Very easy to do. All you need is some fire, some salt, some patience, and some good company. If you like the video, please make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.